all of the fiat money in the world is depreciating. Some a little bit and some faster. And if you count all the fiat money and you calculate the depreciation that they have, it's a gigantic value.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your seatbelts. If you hold the digital asset XRP, you are going to want to watch the entirety of this video breakdown. It is probably going to be one of the most important videos of your lifetime that you watch if you hold the digital asset XRP. Right now, we are at a very interesting turning point where we, as XRP holders, have been through trials and tribulations, and for the longest time, we have not had access to the DeFi ecosystem to be able to generate yields by deploying our XRP into the DeFi ecosystem, and all of that is about to change for the first time ever. We are entering into an era where this mindset of selling our XRP at some high-end price to then be able to go back in at a discount and re-enter into the markets to get more XRP is the most illogical way, and in my personal opinion, the most devastating approach that anybody could take to these markets as an XRP investor in order to grow their XRP bags in the near future, considering what we are about to have access to. Everything that we have talked about in previous video breakdowns is materializing at such a very rapid pace. DeFi is going to scale the utility on the digital asset XRP and on the XRPL immensely over the next consecutive couple of months. I'm telling you all right now, this video breakdown is going to make everything extremely clear and cut for you guys to understand the potential that we are about to have as XRP holders. So make sure that, again, you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe so this video breakdown gets pushed out to more like-minded individuals like yourselves. And if you're new here, this is your first time watching one of our yield video breakdowns where we have discussed and talked about being able to earn passive rewards on our digital assets, I want you to pause this video breakdown and go check out our yield playlist on the CYPRX YouTube. You just go over to the YouTube, you click the playlist tab, and you go and you find the one that says yield. There's over 42 video breakdowns in this playlist that will break down for you all in detail what we now have access to as manual retail investors. All right. So this video is going to blow your mind. We're going to go through fundamentals, and I'm going to show you guys that you are never going to want to sell your XRP after watching this video breakdown. Maybe a certain portion of it, right, to mitigate your risk and take out your initial investment. But me personally, I plan on holding at least 80% of my XRP until the day that I die and pass it on to my children while it's just earning passive rewards. Okay. So I showed you guys in previous video breakdowns starting here. We had an individual representative come on stage, right? This was from Mainnet 2024, and he mentioned that DeFi has the potential to become the first true global open and self-sovereign financial wholesale market. And it's a video display or a, slideshow of him pretty much mentioning that we as retail investors are about to have the same equal access as these financial institutions. You can see here, retail services, corporate services, all of the same things that these financial institutions have access to in the form of DeFi opportunities. We are about to have the same equal access to spot trade, lend, futures, borrow, swap, all of these things. It's going to be massive. And we have been trying to show people that this is unfolding at a very rapid pace. If you guys remember, I even said to you all in a previous post, this is all going to freaking blow your mind, okay? Because everything that we've been saying here at CYPRX is coming into fruition. This is just so crazy. And we're going to be reading a document that is also going to prove these things today. All right. So it says, remember, DeFi brought utility to ETH. Notice how utility coins like XRP are performing well this month. This was again back in November. Have you looked at all of their DeFi developments? They have all been cooking. Now, with each of these assets, because I mentioned a couple other ones, you're starting to see lending, borrowing, staking, and even being a liquidity provider, right? Take a second here and just listen to what this gentleman has to say, because it's all going to make sense after today's video break.
DeFi actually brought utility to ETH, right? Now, if you're holding ETH, you can lend it, you can borrow, you can stake, you can do so many things years ago. DeFi.
Right? Okay. So, oh my goodness gracious. And then I shared a video breakdown with you guys on stage. Jenny Johnson, CEO of Franklin Templeton, recently stating that regulators will likely participate in DeFi through staking, right? Because this is a significant signal from major financial institutions highlighting DeFi's growing maturity and the potential to integrate with traditional finance long term, right? Take a second here and listen to Jenny Johnson.
And so we had to run and build build the capabilities there. And so we ended up building this huge infrastructure. We have now actually made the decision to outsource that recently because honestly, the service providers have now caught up on that. However, when you come into the digital asset space, when we were first looking to launch the tokenized money market fund, there weren't service providers out there. So we said, okay, we need to build this. And then as I mentioned earlier on staking, look, I think if you're going to be participating in this space, people are going to have to be staking. It's going to be part of how you're doing. I think regulators are going to end up staking because they're going to look at it and say, wow, this gives me unbelievable transparency into the transactions. If I need to regulate, the best way to do it would be to be staking on these platforms.
Okay, and again, as we progress through today's video breakdown, I'm going to show you all how these opportunities to stake our digital assets, especially XRP, are coming to us. Like, oh my goodness gracious, I still don't know how people don't see it. Let's continue down the rabbit hole, all right? We also shared this video breakdown of another individual representative on stage, telling you all straight to your face, we posted this back in November, that they are building out a brand new infrastructure, as you heard Jenny Johnson mention, that DeFi has matured, it's not going away, all right? And just listen to what this lady, this representative, has to say about institutions being interested in these services.
The second thing that I want to talk about is institutions. So when I first entered the space in 2017, I came from Fidelity. And at the time, the conversation was, okay, when are the institutions going to enter blockchain and really make this a more legitimate space? And this conversation has been happening for the past 7 years. But if you look at the market today, I don't think there's an institution that would say crypto is going away. In fact, this year, we saw one of the largest financial institutions, BlackRock, partner with a company, Securitize, one of our portfolio companies, to tokenize their own fund called BIDL. And if you look at this trend, RWA stands for real world assets. Real world assets is any sort of asset that you can tokenize on chain. Regardless of the numbers on this graph, it's up and to the right. And I think what we're seeing is a shift from theory to actual live production on the institutional side. And then the last data point that I want to talk about is DeFi. And I'm not really going to talk about DeFi as a sector, but what I want to point out is when DeFi was first starting out in 2018, or you can sort of decide what date that would be, it was an experiment. We were rebuilding the financial infrastructure from the ground up. But now, 5 or 6 years later, DeFi has withstood a number of major shocks to its system, whether that's COVID, the regional banking crisis in the US, or even our own crypto cycle with FTX and other players. And through it all, DeFi continued to work, and we are seeing players like Aave and Uniswap prove to be resilient and prove that the technology works. And this is a brand new...
I'm telling you all right now, as we progress through this video breakdown, this is going to absolutely blow your mind. Because again, think of how many people, especially in the XRP community, have no idea that this is even possible, which is, again, why you should take a second, consider joining a mentorship program or doing deeper research on the opportunities readily available to you to never have to sell your digital assets. If you go over to CYPRXtrading.com, you can tap into the Wealth 28 Club University, where we have over 200 video breakdowns displaying to you all how we are exposing thousands of dollars of our own capital to earn passive rewards on our digital assets. And you can learn those processes. You can have that knowledge and that awareness, and then you can make an active decision when you're comfortable and ready to deploy, and you know how to, earn passive rewards on your digital assets. Look at this. Hugo Filion, all right, posted this today, February 7, 2025. That is the date as of time of recording. I don't know when I'm going to release this to you guys, but check this out. $134 billion of XRP will soon be available to get yield on Flare through FXRP and also native XRP staking. I just showed you guys large market participants in this space telling you all regulators are going to be staking, right? Well, this video is going to get so much deeper. I just showed you all a video participant of an individual saying they're literally building out a new infrastructure. DeFi is resilient and institutions are 110% interested in DeFi, right? You heard this gentleman say that DeFi brought utility to ETH. And I'm going to show you guys how XRP is about to have a massive utility boost through DeFi, okay? This is going to be so insane. I also showed this to you guys. An individual literally telling you all straight to your face, equal access. This is the level playing field that they have been talking about this entire time, people. Okay. Hugo Filion mentioning native XRP staking is coming, right? Well, do you guys remember this individual representative? This is posted 3 weeks ago, has 155 views. This is a lady from Figment, right? Figment is an organization that allows access to ETH staking via an institutional perspective. And here is their outlook for 2025. Take a second and listen to what this lady says.
So ladies first, right? So I think we're going to see a lot of movement in restaking, and that's going to be things like eigenlayer on Ethereum, and it's where you stake your Ethereum on the underlying protocol. So you engage in protocol staking, and then you can use those assets as part of the eigenlayer protocol, and they call it restaking. So it allows you to earn higher returns on your staked assets. We're going to be seeing restaking for Solana, which I think is going to be huge. We're also seeing Bitcoin staking, which is a bit of a misnomer because it's really not staking your Bitcoin, but we have things like Babylon and Lombard and Stacks. And so you can use your Bitcoin and you can essentially lock it up, and then you can earn rewards and returns in other native tokens. Or you can stake a Stacks token, for example, and you can receive Bitcoin back for locking up your Stacks token. So, from a staking perspective, I think we are going to see people who, again, nobody wants their money to sit idle, right? They want it to work for them. And a way to do that, at least from a staking perspective, which is what I know, I know that you guys have a wealth of knowledge outside.
So I just wanted you guys to hear that. She mentions not having your assets sitting idle. She mentions Bitcoin staking, Solana staking, Ethereum staking. And I just showed you guys how Hugo Filion mentioned XRP staking. Yet the XRP community is still super oblivious to the possibilities that we are about to have access to. Why on earth would you want to sell your XRP for fiat in the future? Whether XRP is $100 or $1,000, when you can take your XRP, never have to sell it, keep it in your family bloodline as it continues to appreciate year after year after year after year, give or take. Some years it might be a little bit bearish than others, but year after year after year, it continues to appreciate in value, and you just generate passive rewards, either stacking more XRP by taking those rewards and buying more XRP with it, or paying yourself out in terms of stable coins or fiat that you want, right? You never have to sell your XRP. People, do you understand how powerful this is? This is insanity that people don't understand that this is happening. Okay. And again, tap into the Well 28 Club, because we're showing you guys how right now, in the moment, these opportunities are available to us. Okay. Head over to CYPRXtraining.com. We'd love to have you on the team. Let's continue down the rabbit hole. So she talked about ETH staking, right? Look at this. Lido Finance posted this just 4 days ago. We're thrilled to share that Copper has integrated into Lido staking ETH, providing their institutional clients the possibility to stake ETH, right? So you heard Jenny Johnson and other market participants saying that staking will be available to institutional clients. Well, here is that proof right here that they're not lying to you all on stage. So when you take into consideration the gentleman saying that DeFi brought utility to ETH, take into consideration what is about to happen for XRP. Yes, XRP has utility outside of the DeFi ecosystem, but DeFi is a whole nother animal, one within itself, that is about to bring so much demand, not only to the XRPL, but for the digital asset XRP. Think of all the whales with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars invested into XRP that now are never going to have to sell. To some degree, it is going to alleviate a certain onset of sell pressure on the digital asset XRP. And when you understand that power, oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, we are the banks. We are the banks. And again, I'm going to show you that large market participants are telling you all that we are the banks now. Okay. So this is Blue Water. Let me shift perspective real fast. Let's read this document, Blue Water Financial Technologies. I want you guys to understand how massive a market participants these individuals are right here. Okay. And why we're even going to be reading this document. So let me just present screen. Let's go over to my highlights from this, because this is going to blow your mind. And I have about 3 more video clips and a fundamental surrounding lending and borrowing on the XRPL that is about to become available in just 1 second. So we'll get to that here in a minute. Again, if you guys are enjoying this video breakdown, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. So let's just go over. Let's go to this window and share the document. All right. So sorry about that. Let's pull this up real quick. I have so many tabs open. I got to find it. Okay, cool. So here's the document right here that we just checked out. All right. I just want to scroll up to the top so you guys can see. Okay, here it is right here. And this is the Opportunities and Tokenization 2025 report, Blue Water Financial Technologies. Now, who is Blue Water? Let's just scroll right down here. It says Blue Water is strategically positioned at the forefront of tokenization in the $14 trillion mortgage sector. As a leader in mortgage asset services, Blue Water has built an extensive all-digital platform providing data and technology solutions for managing mortgage service rights, whole loans, and second liens, including daily, weekly, and monthly valuation and asset tracking, monthly remittances, and pricing, trade transfer, and quality control services to firms, 550 plus originators, and onboarded users. All right, so I'd say that they're a pretty important organization here, considering that they're attempting to tap into a $14 trillion mortgage sector. All right. And up in this document, you can see they talked about why yield products and the emergence of compliant DeFi, considering that Jenny Johnson mentioned regulators getting involved, and there's still an onset of individuals in the crypto space that are like, whoa, I'm not going to get involved in DeFi until it becomes regulated, when in reality, institutions are already dipping their toes in the water. So why aren't you? At a minimum, again, you don't have to expose your capital to get educated about DeFi. Tap into a private community like ours here at CYPRX and just get educated, people. That's what this is about. Knowing the power that you have only becomes powerful when you know that you have it, okay? If you're just that type of person that's like, oh, I'm just going to sell my XRP at $100 and become wealthy, I promise you'll probably honestly end up broke, because you're going to sell back into fiat, and fiat eventually is going to continue to depreciate at a very rapid pace year after year after year.
All of the fiat money in the world is depreciating. Some a little bit and some faster. And if you count all the fiat money and you calculate the depreciation that they have, it's a gigantic value.
You don't want to do that. You want to hold on to assets that are going to continue to appreciate in value over the long term, and at the same time can generate you yield. With that yield, you can then go and do multiple other things with it, whether that's pay yourself, reinvest, so on and so forth. All right. So check this out. All right. I had a whole bunch of highlights on this, but I just want to read the primary. So check this out. It says emergence of compliant DeFi. Another key utility piece to yield-bearing assets is the potential portability to the $120 billion decentralized finance ecosystem, i.e. DeFi. Illiquid buy and hold growth assets have their place in long-term portfolio goals. You see that right there. Illiquid buy and hold growth assets, that's XRP. But without robust valuation and performances, they lack utility beyond a target return number. Contrast that with an asset that's constantly generating cash flows distributed to the end investor and rebasing or revaluing itself. Again, that is the opportunity that XRP is about to have right now. Did you see what Hugo Filion said? Native XRP staking is coming. The latter profile is more promising to DeFi on professional and institutional levels. DeFi, check this out, enables individuals to act as that bank. I'll say that again. DeFi enables individuals to act as that bank lender and pledging crypto assets into a liquidity pool that other borrowers wish to draw from, much like a bank. The lender of the crypto asset shares in rewards via interest payments. The interest rate is typically floating rates set by crypto market dynamics and activity. The raw speed at which loans can be issued, repaid, and rehypothecated is remarkable when compared to traditional lending. Even more impressive is the ability for individual users to directly participate and contribute to said lending ecosystems. Do you see what this says right here, people? Okay? You have the ability to be your own bank. And we've been screaming this at the top of our lungs, that this is now the same equal access that these financial institutions have had for the longest time is becoming available to us as manual retail investors. Now, let me continue to blow your mind, because we're not done yet. Again, I'm just trying to show you guys that the proof is in the pudding, and everything that we've been screaming in the yield playlist. Again, go back and watch it. Okay, here it is, 42 video breakdowns where we've been covering this for the longest time. It's all materializing at a very rapid pace. So listen to what Jenny Johnson says here about earning yield every hour of every day that you hold these digital assets. Okay, take a second here and listen to what Jenny Johnson said at the World Economic Forum 2 weeks ago.
You have atomic settlement on transactions where you don't need to validate. Oftentimes a bank is in between to validate the two parties. I know that when I trade with JP Morgan, that they're making sure that whoever's on the other side is going to pay me. They're standing in for that. If it settles automatically, you don't need that validation. So you have parties who are thinking about, what does atomic settlement mean to my business model? In our case, we built on the Stellar blockchain our money market fund, where we have the record keeping, and we're the only ones who are actually running a public transactions on blockchain. There's others shadowing it. We're actually settling them on the chain. And so over time, as you can start to have people making payments leveraging this yield coin, then, and maybe you hold it for 5 hours. Shouldn't you get 5 hours worth of yield? Like that's a challenge. Like that's a big technical challenge, but actually blockchain makes that possible. So we're thinking through, okay.
Boom, right there. She talks about holding these yield coins, right?
As you can start to have people making payments leveraging this yield coin.
I'm showing you guys that we as XRP holders are about to have the same equal opportunity, right? If you hold XRP for 5 hours, you should be able to earn yield on that XRP for 5 hours. If you want to hold XRP for 100 years, you should be able to earn yield on that XRP for 100 years. And you're about to be able to do that. I mean, actually, as a matter of fact, right now you can do that. But some of the platforms in which you can do that on are a little bit more risky, right? So again, why you should get educated on this in the now, so you understand how to take advantage when it does become more regulated and when it does. Okay, oh my goodness gracious, people, I'm showing you all juice right now. All right, check this out. So remember I shared with you guys, DeFi brought utility to ETH. Okay, we're now seeing DeFi unfold at a very rapid pace on the XRPL. Listen to this individual representative at a conference. The SFF 2024 was posted 3 days ago, has 35 views. He says the same exact thing: lending, borrowing. That opens the door and unlocks utility on these coins. Take a second here and listen.
So from a distribution standpoint, Salim makes a good point that I think the value of the tokens is really going to be twofold. One is starting with that network effect. That is, it's one thing for me to, let's say, list the token for sale on Robert's exchange, and then Jeannie buys that token. But if it just sits in her wallet, ideally accruing some value or accruing some interest, that's one thing. If, on the other hand, she can take that token and now use it for some other purpose, whether it's a secondary market, whether it's collateralization, whether it's liquidity pooling, that actually, that kind of general liquidity and movement of that token actually is what's going to provide that value over and above traditional financial market infrastructures, I would argue. But there's a caveat to that.
Boom. He talks about liquidity pooling, actually bringing value to a token by being able to take it into another market and utilize it effectively and efficiently. All right. So we see Hugo Filion talking about XRP staking. Okay. Well, did you guys know about Doppler Finance, right? Doppler Finance, lending and borrowing, bringing lending and borrowing and liquidity pooling to XRP holders. Doppler Finance right here. I'm not going to read this whole entire XRP-Fi reboot, right? But this is happening in February this year, people. And look at what it says right down here. It talks about what is yield farming. Okay, Doppler Finance aims to overcome the limitations of the XRP ledger by collaborating with CDeFi platforms to provide users with the stable and efficiently yield farming and lending protocol experiences. DeFi-based revenue. Doppler Finance plans to increase on-chain use cases for XRP by collaborating with other DeFi protocols, thereby generating yields that will be distributed to XRP depositors. Last but not least, to blow your mind and full circle this, everything that I've been attempting to show you guys, it says liquid staking tokens, right? Liquid staking DeFi protocols for XRP. LSTs are tokens issued to represent staked assets in a blockchain network, enabling liquidity for staked assets. LSTs eliminate the locked state of staked assets, allowing them to be used in other DeFi protocols for traditional liquidity and earning opportunities. Doppler Finance aims to expand XRP's utility and introduce new earning mechanisms through LSTs. Do you all see? It says right there, XRP's utility. I showed you guys months ago. DeFi brought utility to ETH. XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, all of these utility digital assets that we've been hodling in our cold storage wallets, DeFi opportunities through lending, borrowing, liquidity providing, staking are all about to become regulated and available to us as retail investors, especially as institutions take opportunity in these yield-bearing positions. Many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy the digital asset XRP, but what I am telling you guys to go do is get educated. Go out there, look into these resources, look into these DeFi opportunities, and understand the opportunity that we now have as manual retail investors to generate and operate on a level playing field that these financial institutions have had access to for literally lifetimes. Okay. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.